Did someone say cute and cuddly?
Who are you?
I'm Ragdoll!
Ragdoll is a thief and triple-jointed contortionist. With the latter skill, he's capable of bending his body in all sorts of impossible ways, and even able to survive methods that would kill other people, such as being caught in the gears of a clock. Normally, the Ragdoll we see is a lot more unhinged, with him even creating a cult in his later years within the comics. But the Ragdoll we're talking about today is a lot less violent and is more so on the side of comedy. The Ragdoll within the 2004 The Batman series acts more childlike, with even his threats being heavily masked behind silly jokes. Ragdoll is more of the just go with the flow type of person in this show, with nothing really upsetting him. Even when he loses a score or a fight, he still maintains that friendly, childlike attitude. For Ragdoll, it's all about entertainment and fun, not complete and utter chaos. He's a showman, and he enjoys showing off. Ragdoll is a formidable opponent to the Batman, but an even bigger adversary of Catwoman. In the episode Ragdoll to Riches, Ragdoll and Catwoman race to gain several priceless items while crossing paths with the Batman. One of those items were a set of emeralds called Cat Eyes. The emerald set was rumored to be hidden in the Gotham clock tower by a mobster in the 1930s. Though never found, it was enough to pique the interest of Catwoman and Ragdoll, falling into a trap set by the Batman. For Ragdoll, this isn't just a score, it's a chance to get back at Catwoman for an earlier encounter, as well as an opportunity to show both Catwoman and Batman just how wonderful of an entertainer he really is. It's a chance to show both parties his showmanship, which is something that Ragdoll can't resist. After a lengthy and spectacular battle, Ragdoll gets trapped within the gears of the clock caused by Batman in a throne battering. Catwoman then approaches Ragdoll as he makes an offer to split the emerald set if she gets him out of the gears. Catwoman refuses the offer and takes both emeralds. Batman then appears, and with a look alone, he gets Catwoman to hand over the emeralds. Catwoman then leaves, and afterwards, Ragdoll smiles and asks Batman for a hand. Going back to him just wanting to have fun, he's not even upset he lost his score, nor is he upset that he's being taken to prison. This was all one big fun game to Ragdoll, similar to Joker in the sense that they both commit these crimes for the pure entertainment of it. It's not only fun to them, but the in-between moments are also funny to them. However, that's where the comparisons come to an end. You see, Ragdoll doesn't want to kill or necessarily even hurt people. He just wants to have juvenile fun. After the episode Ragdoll to Riches, his next appearance would come to be in the episode Team Penguin, where we don't see much of him, but it further shows that childlike personality of his. He pops out of Penguin's hat and makes a joke about pulling a supervillain from a hat. As Penguin tries to grab the hat, Ragdoll throws it to his other hand and then back to the original, ultimately giving it to Penguin. After talking for a bit, Killer Moth is introduced, and upon entering the room, Firefly and Ragdoll start making jokes about his name and outfit. Rather than taking the situation serious like Penguin or even Killer Croc, Ragdoll is making sure that this group partnership is nothing short of fun and jokes. Sure, the money is a good benefit, but again, for Ragdoll, it's all about entertainment. Ragdoll's showmanship comes before anything, which is something that I really like. I like that they went with this kind of personality. I feel like it fits his abilities and design in the show perfectly. The writers and artists did an amazing job with the recreation of him. Having characters like him in a show, along with complex and heartbreaking characters like Ethan Bennett's Clayface, the Ventriloquist, the Riddler, and so on, really creates this perfect blend, making the world feel more alive and diverse. At an unknown warehouse, Killer Croc swims through the sewers. As he pops out of the water, he notices two guards and strikes them with his tail. Then, Ragdoll hops out of Killer Croc's backpack and climbs into a small vent. Ragdoll exits the vent and finds the guard watching the cameras. Ragdoll knocks the guard out with one punch and then disables all the security. Nothing really of note here other than his normal shenanigans. He does, however, scare the guard by saying boo before striking him, which goes back to what I said about him making sure this group partnership is nothing short of fun and jokes. He can't resist the urge to make an impression on everyone he comes across. After a fight with Batman and his sidekicks, Team Penguin makes an escape in Penguin's ice cream truck, and all the villains begin to celebrate their victory. Afterwards, Ragdoll suggests changing the team name to Villains United, to which Penguin rejects. Ragdoll knew Penguin would reject the name change. He just wanted to add on to the running joke between the rest of the crew of not liking the name Team Penguin. He knows it's starting to annoy Penguin, which makes it all the more funnier to him and the rest of the crew. As I said before, it's all about having fun for Ragdoll. Now, Team Penguin has a new mission, and that is to break into the building owned by the millionaire Robert Howard. Penguin then tells the crew the rest of his plan, which is to disable the security cameras, use the chemical they stole to burn down the door to the vault, and to take the ruby-encrusted penguin. This prize is something that only the Penguin wants. Croc is the most upset about this news, but even Ragdoll is a bit disappointed and angry it seems, which is really the only time we ever see him angry. After Killer Moth arrives at the building where Team Penguin is, he falls out in a cocoon. Penguin sarcastically suggests they buy him a wreath. Killer Croc is done with the team, he says, and walks away frustrated. Penguin doesn't mind. After all, more for the rest of them. However, Ragdoll and Firefly decide to walk away too. I told you they were getting fed up with Penguin, and I'll say again, can you really blame them? Ragdoll is getting bored of all this seriousness. He lives for fun and excitement, not for whatever this is. The cocoon burst open to reveal a mutated Killer Moth. Killer Moth demands respect from the other villains, and afterwards he says that Penguin is still their leader. Ragdoll, Killer Croc, and Firefly, terrified of the new Killer Moth, happily rejoin the team. So just like with him being angry, this is really the only time we ever see Ragdoll showing fear. Up until this point, it was like he had zero concept of fear. I guess years of putting yourself inside of places like the inside of plot gears really takes away that worry and fear of most things. After Batman and his sidekick show up, a fight begins. Batgirl takes on Firefly, Batman takes on Killer Croc, and Robin takes on Ragdoll. Robin swings himself into a vent with Ragdoll approaching. Ragdoll then says,
Let's not make this too easy for me.
And after going in, Ragdoll quickly gets dealt with by Robin. After his defeat, we don't see him again within the episode. Ragdoll does make a cameo in the episode Rumors, but only a small one, even smaller than this episode, so we won't go over that episode. But to go back to what I said earlier about him being a great adversary to Catwoman and being slightly similar to Joker, in the episode Ragdoll to Riches, Ragdoll is very much Catwoman's Joker, which is something that I wish they would have played more into when using him for another episode. He just makes such a good villain for Catwoman to face off with every so often. Another thing that made this version so good was the brilliant voice actor behind him, that being Jeff Bennett. The tone and overall pattern of his speech fits him so well, and it creates this funny yet slightly unnerving vibe to him, which in my opinion works perfectly. Then you have his design, which again is done brilliantly. The homemade look to it, the different colored patches, the sinister yet endearing smile, all comes together beautifully. This is yet another outstanding recreation of a character done by the outstanding team behind the 2004 The Batman series. And that, my friends, is the recreation of the ridiculous character Ragdoll. If you made it this far into the video, comment down your favorite quote from the 2004 The Batman series. Also, real quick, I just want to thank everybody for supporting the channel, so thank you to each and every one of you for showing all this love on these videos. It truly means the world to me. But with that said, it's been ugly, and I'll see y'all in the next one.